Some people have a deep, abiding respect for the natural beauty that was once this country. And some people don't. People start pollution. People can stop it. Write for Pollution Booklet Box 1771, Radio City Station, New York.
We are with Mariana Martins. This is just going to be a quick interview on her opinion on Indigenous culture. Okay, question 1. What is your opinion on Indigenous peoples? What comes to mind?
The stereotypical things comes to mind, like casinos and death and disease they had to go through.
Have you ever been exposed to Indigenous culture, or have you seen it anywhere around?
I have not talked to them personally, but I know when I was younger, maybe about 6 or 7, I saw them outside of the window in my house walking around in Brazil, though. They're impoverished, they had no homes, and I felt bad for them, but I was a kid, I don't remember much. Yes.
Okay, after watching the commercial about the Native American crying, what is your reaction to the video?
I felt like it's the first Earth Day awareness video. It kind of made an impact, portraying this Native American, crying for the earth, portrayed them in a good light, and we understand that their culture involves a lot of caring for the earth, as if they don't own it and stuff like that. So it was alright.
Do you think it was realistic in the way they were portrayed?
I don't see any Indians walking around with those clothes anymore, so no, not really.
Okay, this is part 2 of the interview on Indigenous peoples. We are here with Jesus Mercado. So we're going to just do a couple questions. What is your opinion on Indigenous cultures in general?
I think in general, I think it's pretty neat how what people call them as Native people, they're the first people that came to America, well, in general around the world. And I think their culture that relates to the geographical environment, I think it's pretty neat. And I think there's a lot of groups around the world, and I think the groups in general is just like they have their own beliefs and what they believe, and just like any other kind of culture and religions, and they have their own religions. So I think it's pretty neat. I like, for example, the Mayas from Mexico and Central America. I think that's pretty good of how.
Question 2: do you have any personal experience with Indigenous culture or Indigenous peoples, and do you know about their struggles today?
I don't have no personal experience, but the struggles, I'm really not sure what the struggles. All I know about they got declaration rights. I know that.
After having watched the commercial, the crying Native American commercial for Earth Day which was made in 1970, what is your first reaction to it?
How I think he sees how America, in general society, see how they're treating Earth bad, population, how dirty when he landed right there by, I guess it was a beach or lake, and how dirty it was, and how the guy just threw the trash out the window. I think in general my reaction was just like, he's looking at society. We don't treat the world like we don't treat it as we should treat it, better place and everything like that. So
do you think the portrayal of the crying Indian is correct? Is it something that we all associate Native Americans with having a bond with nature? Do you think that's realistic?
I think it is realistic because I think it shows how, again, people in society, how we treat Earth, and I don't think it's right the way we treat it. We treat it really bad. With plus population, we don't energy, we keep the lights on, so I think it's realistic.
involved, and this is her reaction to the Aborigines ice skater dance. And why do you believe the Aboriginal leaders were offended by the dance?
Well, I thought that they did a great job. It looks like they worked really hard on it. And it looks like it was a pretty dangerous routine to do. I think they were just trying to give some credit to, you know, the Aborigines and kind of spread their culture. But I guess people were offended because apparently it was an authentic Aborigine dance. It was an authentic Aborigine music or costumes, or it wasn't true to their culture. But I think people need to lighten up, because I think really they were just trying to, you know, do good by them. And I guess some people are a little too sensitive, and some people just have desensitized to different cultures like that.
Hello, hello, hello.
Start of the end of the world, but it's feeling just like every other morning before. Now I wonder what my life is gonna mean if it's gone. The cars are moving like a half a mile an hour, and I started staring at the passengers and waving goodbye. Can you tell me what